Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. In this video today, I wanted to talk a little bit about TSM for a couple of different reasons. One, they have started out the season playing pretty well, and they've been moving up the power rankings and the tier list of a lot of different people. They have impressed people in a point in the LCS right now where there's a lot of dysfunctional teams, dysfunctional orgs, teams underperforming, people really being disappointed. TSM is honestly surprising a lot of people in a good way, and it is interesting. And as TSM FTX put it perfectly on Twitter, I wanted to talk about the power of friendship, because again, while a lot of these other organizations are having internal conflicts, issues, whatever, it really seems like for the first time in a while, TSM is staying away from the conflict, the controversy, the drama, and actually might have a good thing going. But make sure you guys do drop a like on this video. I would appreciate it so much. It really does help me out the YouTube algorithm a ton if you enjoy my content and everything. Also subscribe to stay up to date on my latest content so you guys don't miss out on anything we got going on in the near future. With that being said, let's get into this. So, like I said, this guy did reply. He said, must feel good to not be the source of drama for once. And TSM said they are enjoying their life with this SpongeBob meme. And they have plenty of reason to be enjoying their life. We take a look at the LCS standings. For whatever reason, Google still hasn't got the memo that records carry over from the spring splits. Like the Google standings only have what's happened so far in summer. But you will see that TSM is coming off a 3-0 weekend. They're tied atop the summer split standings. But when you take a look at the standings as a whole, they are currently in first place with an overall record spring and summer of 15-6. They are a game clear of Cloud9 and 2 games clear of the other teams in third. Now, there is still so many games left to be played in the summer split that none of this really matters. But again, coming off a week where they went 3-0 and were able to take down Team Liquid, Evil Geniuses, and Golden Guardians. Obviously, Golden Guardians maybe not the best win, but Evil Geniuses, a lot of people rate as a pretty decent team. And then Team Liquid was in the finals last split. They were 3-2. Now, yes, the interesting part there is also that TSM played Liquid with Alphari still in the top lane, and now obviously they're going to be rolling with Jenkins or maybe Alphari, we don't really know, but TSM did beat what most people would consider probably the stronger version of Team Liquid, and TSM historically has usually been a slow starter. You know, there's the big meme that they always lose the first game of the split, they always lose the first game at MSI, first game at Worlds or whatever. So for TSM to come out of the gate strong, I think is surprising to a lot of people, because people had them come into the split rated behind Cloud9, behind Team Liquid, and some people even had them rated behind 100 Thieves as well, because 100 Thieves in the offseason got Reapered, got Abbedagge, and they were looking really, really strong. So after 1 week, for TSM to not only have the best record in the LCS, to be coming off a 3-0 weekend, but to perhaps look like the best team in the LCS as well, is a little bit surprising, but is also a good sign in a lot of ways. When a lot of our top North American teams are struggling, are having issues, are really sliding down, it is good to at least have one team overperforming, rising above the rest. And when we take a look at, I know we had already talked about this tweet from Azael previously, but there have been 7 teams that have made a change from their spring split roster into the summer split. And when we take a look at that, having TSM, Immortals, and CLG as the 3 teams who didn't do anything, TSM went 3-0, Immortals went 3-0, and CLG went 0-3, but still these 3 teams had an average of 2 wins. That is above the average of the other teams who did make a change. And I think there really is something to be said there about cohesion, about sticking with the same roster, sticking with the same players, having a group of players that gets along, synergizes well, is practiced, knows what's going on stage, knows what all the other teams are doing. And I think TSM and Immortal so far are really, really showing that. This TSM team, when you take a look at them like in Legends or, you know, in their vlogs and everything, they really do get along. It doesn't seem like anyone has an ego. It doesn't seem like there's this beef or internal conflict or anything like that. And I think that is a very, very good sign to see. I think another person who deserves a lot of praise for this whole situation right now, there is, you know, Cloud9 management, coaching staff, some people getting a lot of flack after MSI, after the Sven situation, all that. Team Liquid, Jat is taking a lot of heat. Team Liquid management, Steve, everybody taking a lot of heat right now. But when you take a look at TSM, historically, Reggie has gotten a lot of criticism, TSM coaches, general management, everything. But at the helm, they now have Bjergsen. And you can say what you want about Bjergsen, whether you think he's a good or bad coach, whether you think he has good or bad drafts, whatever. He is definitely very well respected within this team and really within the entire League of Legends landscape anywhere in the world. People know Bjergsen, people respect him, and that could have a lot to say with what is going on. You know, this is not a coach that is not going to have control of his team, control of his situation, control, respect everything of his players. So I think that honestly could help to avoid situations like we're seeing with Sven and Cloud9, situations like we're seeing with Alphari in Team Liquid and everything like that. I couldn't really see something like that happening with TSM. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean Bjergsen's a good coach, that he has good drafts, that he has good game plan, anything like that, but it is at least one less thing to worry about and one more thing that TSM has over maybe some of the other teams in the LCS. Now, again, it's just one weekend. It's just early on in the split. You know, we'll see how this works out. I definitely think TSM has a big advantage bringing in all 5 guys that they had last split, and they're just so much more practiced and prepared, and they know each other better than a lot of these other teams. Obviously, Cloud9 is coming off MSI hangover. Team Liquid is a mess right now. 100 Thieves is still getting used to a new coach and new mid laner, and it will be very, very interesting to see what TSM does this weekend. They have 100 Thieves, CLG, and FlyQuest, so it seems to kind of be an easier week. Obviously, FlyQuest and CLG don't seem to be too difficult of games, but tomorrow against 100 Thieves will actually be a really, really telling and big game to see where we are at in terms of the standings and everything, because, you know, again, 100 Thieves, they just went 2-1. Some people say they're maybe looking better than Cloud9 right now. Maybe they're looking better than Team Liquid right now. And these might be the top 2 teams in the LCS in this moment. So having them, you know, pair off is going to tell us a lot about the overall strength and relative strength of these teams, and how well Abbedagge is fitting in with the team and how well it's all going to go. The interesting thing also with TSM is that they are doing all this despite not really having a dominant player, a player that is necessarily the best at his position or the best at his team. I think TSM is really greater than the sum of all their parts. Like, when you look at their team, overall, they have a lot of players that are pretty good. You know, Huni is pretty good, and he's having a good split so far. Spica is rated pretty highly, but I don't think anyone would say Huni's the best top laner, or Spica's the best jungler, or Power of Evil is the best mid laner. People aren't saying that Lost is the best AD carry, and people aren't saying that Sword Art is the best support, but still, TSM was able to finish second in the regular season in the spring split. They are sitting atop the standings right now. They are off to a 3-0 start. And when you take a look at the other teams, you know, Alphari was probably the best top laner. He finished second in MVP. CoreJJ was the reigning MVP coming into spring split. They had a lot of great players. Cloud9 has the MVP in Blabber. They have one of the best Western players of all time in Perks. A lot of people think, you know, Sven might be the best AD carry in the LCS. 100 Thieves, FBI might be the best AD carry. There's a case to be made that someday can be the best top laner at times. And TSM is currently finding a way to outperform all those teams, and it might be, you know, they want to keep memeing about the power of friendship, but I think there is really something to say about having synergy, having chemistry. I know TSM does a lot of stuff outside of the game as well. I know they're always doing like team bonding and getting people together, and Bjergsen's really stressing like a balance in work and life and everything, and it's really showing. You know, TSM has definitely gotten better as a team over the course of the season. All of their players have gotten better over the course of the season, and I'm just really curious to see how this is going to play out over the rest of the year. And again, I just think this is really refreshing because I am a TSM fan, and historically TSM has been a bad coached, bad managed team that has probably performed worse than the sum of their parts. They've always had the best players, and they've always kind of underperformed, but now for the first time in a while, TSM can't get the best players anymore. They don't have the best players anymore. And I think this is just a really, really good sign long-term for TSM because, again, Power of Evil is going to be getting his green card this next offseason. You know they're going to be looking to import, to upgrade somewhere. They have this FTX money coming in. They have all this money. They're going to be able to get a more and more talented lineup, but it seems like the first time in a while, TSM has the right management, coaching staff, infrastructure, everything in place to set up their team and players to succeed. And I think that bodes really, really well for the LCS and for TSM this year, but also into the future as well. And I think really the power of friendship might just be OP, and I think Team Liquid, Cloud9, they might want to figure that stuff out a little bit. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it a ton. Leave a comment down below. Do you think TSM is the best team in the LCS right now? Do you think they're going to be the best team in the LCS at the end of the split? Or who's your pick to take home the championship now that we've seen a couple of games? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!